towards our first game between two of these titans hailing from the west as well as the east. Well, technically, of course, Russia is just up north in a certain way. But then again, well, of course, back into the draft, we're looking at the box event, which means that DEUS VULT have already done the studies. And in the very final game, we saw the Basia coming into effect, and he played it out so well. Of course, Kaya always getting banned off in the earth phases. It's not really too much of a surprise. But what do you like about both teams? Because for me, I really would say that the side of DEUS VULT have some great sort of steps heading in towards those early game where they respect their opponents well enough to not play overly aggressive, and they still hold their ground whenever they get pushed out. So of course, we'll get back to a draft in a little short while. And of course, Husky. Well, we saw that game previously where the team DEUS VULT getting the whole lot of kills on that Granger, but towards the late game, they almost crushed the Crystal. Yeah, they was. All they needed was a few more touches on that Evil Legis's Crystal. I feel like that was where the miscoordination came in for DEUS VULT. They were not focusing on the same target. They were not on the same page. I think for 10 seconds gaming plus, they have really great fundamentals. You can see the hyper aggression. If I'm on DEUS VULT, my eyes are on Sure, who played Boxer in both games against Onyx PH and absolutely crushed them. For DEUS VULT, they also have the fundamentals nailed down. I would say that this matchup is as even as it can get, but judging from those series, from the first series that these two teams played, I would favor 10-second gaming a bit more. Well, I would say that it's really wise that they're an option to actually pick up the Harif, and we've seen the Boxia not only in 10 seconds gaming arsenal, and Evil's Legends was utilizing that pick in that previous matchup against them, so they are pretty much done with that sort of nuisance. And there's so many options for DEUS VULT right now, but I do think that the Kufra will be a great pick, but DEUS VULT was opting to actually go in for the export as well. Yeah, and actually Cho would be a pick that these two teams might contest a lot, because both DEUS VULT and 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, they both play that Cho. I believe Totaka from 10 Seconds Gaming played Cho in their series against Onyx PH, and of course DEUS VULT, it was Kupi, if I'm Seka, I think, that played Cho. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm right. But yeah, but 10 Seconds Gaming, they did first locked in that Harif first. They played Rafaela against Onyx Philippines in that second game of the previous series, and they got locked in again, and there we go. The Cho immediately locked in, no hesitation. Well, I really like the Rafaela pick as well, giving it enough sustainability in that sort of team fight with those Holy healing, and of course a huge Holy Baptism will be great in those team fights as well. Now, heading into the side of DEUS VULT, they're possibly trying to look for something that could catch the Rafaela at the back as well. So they've already got somebody who could dive in, which will be the Kufra. Same goes to the export. So maybe picking up another marksman right here would be great. I was like thinking about another tank coming in the picture or so, but yep, this makes a whole lot more sense than that. And Esmeralda being banned away, what do you think about the Esmeralda ban? I think the Esmeralda ban is pretty straightforward. Before the carry was picked, I was thinking maybe DEUS VULT want to prioritize the Esmeralda, then maybe the marksman, because Esmeralda is such a clear pick against both Harif and Cho. Both of these heroes have the shield that Esmeralda would gladly soak up, but maybe priorities is a bit different for DEUS VULT, and 10 seconds gaming plus. They're gonna play safe. They ban out the Esmeralda. High loss will be banned out by DEUS VULT. Both teams kind of identifying what the enemy wants to do, and at least for DEUS VULT, they have that front line established, and for 10 seconds gaming plus, they still have to kind of form that battalion by selecting their tanks. Well, I'm pretty sure it won't be a Nana heading into this, but high loss, of course, getting banned away, which we saw 10 seconds gaming here, needing a whole lot more tanks on their side. So maybe adding on to something to their frame might just be something like a Leomort or even a Tamus will be great as well. And heading with the Hellcurt is something that's pretty much interesting to me. Well, for a fact that the side of Divu does not have too much of that sort of a tankiness. I think that it will be easy for them to actually go in with the dive, especially with this Gato Kacha pick. When you see him using the garden to slam towards the back line, then they could actually go in for a great setup.
And I was about to bring out the fact that EVO's Legends against DEUS VULT in that previous series, both games they banned out the Natalia, and for a good reason, because it is a respect ban. DEUS VULT, they played as Natalia, but 10 seconds gaming pass, they let it through. They're gonna say, alright, we'll let you pick that comfort pick you have because we have the GTKC, Gato Kacha. You come in, you get taunted, and we will finish you off. They're feeling pretty confident about this, but the pocket pick from DEUS VULT, we'll see what they can do with this Natalia that they didn't get to pick in the previous series.
Well, what I'm excited for is this Natalia facing off against the Helkert. So it's kind of like that sort of chase for power.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm feeling like this is going to be a really high kill volume game for some reason.
Yeah, this is the most important game, I think, other than 10 seconds gaming against EVO's Legends coming up after this. This particular series, the 4th series of Group D, is going to dictate the entire bracket. It's going to decide who might make it through and who might just get knocked out and join Onyx PH in the eliminated eliminated group of teams. Because last group stage, again, the brutal format of how M1 works is 2 teams will advance every day. 2 teams get knocked out. Unfortunately, one more team will have to join the ranks of Onyx Philippines. And for DEUS VULT and 10 seconds gaming, they know that that there's still a chance for either one to qualify.
Yeah, and tomorrow onwards, we'll be seeing the playoff stages. And I'm definitely excited to actually see a whole lot of all these audiences.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys haven't purchased your tickets for M1, please go ahead and do so, because we got a whole lot of discount codes for you guys to snack up all those tickets for definitely a cheaper price in that sort of sense. And of course, catch every battle, stream like cray, get unlimited data for all apps with Killer Unlimited GX30, only with you mobile.
Yeah, exactly. And I cannot express how stoked I am for today, the group of death that didn't pan out in the way that we kind of expected, but it's still very interesting to see how these non-Southeast Asian teams, a lot of people have brushed them off like, okay, they came from region, they stomped their region, so what? They are not the strongest region of them all, as a lot of the community will kind of say, but Russia and Japan, they're proving us wrong, and in a really good way.
Well, I definitely would say that Russia is that sort of a veteran hitting in towards any MOBA titles that they play.
Oh, yeah.
And Mobile Legends is definitely one that they have been excelling at for the past year, that we see them really rising off the charts as well. And 10 seconds gaming here, of course, they are a dark horse. Well, speaking of dark horse, you can see the horse in the logo itself.
Yeah, and also I believe yesterday, so one of the Malay casters did talk to 10 Second Gaming's Plus's manager, and apparently since the release of Mobile Legends, at least in the region of Japan, it wasn't the big thing. There was not much competitive tournaments. It wasn't like the serious stuff. No one was taking it seriously, at least in a competitive sense. And then suddenly 10 Seconds Gaming, they come in and they do this to Onyx PH, which I'm not shy to admit that I did, put my money on Onyx PH, but well, 10 Seconds Gaming proved me wrong. But here we go, game number 1 of this 4th series between 10 Seconds Gaming Plus and DEUS VULT.
Now, starting off, we're seeing Rafaela slowly moving inside the jungle as well, just trying to actually scout out ahead. Natalia will be facing off with that Helkert. So, early game, I do think that the Helkert does have a little bit more advantage against the Natalia until both of them hits level 4 in that sort of sense. But look at him go. Natalia has already dived right in to actually go in for Hunt. Zeka already soaking a little bit of that soft touches coming from Obuyan, and looking in towards how DEUS VULT is playing, they're already invading the jungle, trying to steal this buff away.
Yeah, and it's just DEUS VULT. I think if you want to compare the fundamentals, both teams are on the same level, but DEUS VULT are just a tad more aggressive in how, even in the previous series against EVO's Legend, they lost, sure, but the fact that they are willing to take all these fights and take all this risk is something really commendable, and they might just get engaged straight onto 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. They're going for Papa. He is the target. They didn't go for the Helkert. Tried to retaliate. Obuyan trying to keep this Helkert alive, and they will. The retreat is there.
Papa has managed to still snatch that River Crab. Now, Totaka slowly falling back, and this 2v1 definitely isn't all too easy with the range carry sliding in and out of that battle.
Ooh.
But look at Suredo.
They got the taunt to Lil Happy, but Lil Happy managing to get out. No ultimate for the chill yet, but Tomiwo is gonna use that Zaman Force to kind of push Deus Vult back. Deus Vult now trying to come for the Chinese. Sunset is ready in the vicinity. Sure, level 2 getting burned out. Gotta catch up, not that healthy. Here comes QP. They get the revitalized, but first blood goes over to Deus Vult.
And that's all that they needed. And Devu solely heading down for a little bit of that dive as well, controlling the entire section of the river. So they should be able to snatch the very first turtle of the game. But look at Sure though, a little bit of overextension coming in from the side of 10 seconds as we see a great grouping coming in from the DB with that sort of a push headed towards the top side with 4 members. And that's how they managed to secure that 1 kill. But look at Sabo though, he's going for the dive.
Yeah, tries to go for the engage, not able to get the one that he looking for. Sure is still level 3. So that's second gaming plus. Not the ideal chance to go for the engage, but Totaka gets the Will of the Dragon onto Sunset, not able to get the kill. And here comes Last Insanity to collapse on this show. And Deus Vult will claim another one.
Some of the best early game skirmishes that I've ever seen coming from the side of Deus Vult. And now, speaking of that, here comes Captain Kacha as well. His ult was unnecessary because Papa still managed to secure that kill. And there goes Zika. While they are trading those turrets, there is a lot of these members fighting back. Order of Bruins have been popped away. So I was going to regroup and shove out the wave. So Papa could not even get anywhere close to take down the tower.
Yeah, Zika slightly underestimating what Papa can do on that Hellcat. Bit isolated, he got the silence, there's the slow. It is okay, but if you can't finish off Hellcat, Hellcat will finish you off instead. And definitely a bit of miscalculation right there from this assassin of Deus Vult. All is fine though, they get the tier 1 in the top lane and they get another kill. The Rafaela was taken down by Sawo.
Well, the Arctic Balls have already been utilized, and that's going to be a little bit of contention once again. They're looking for a little Happy, but it's not really the best option to actually fully commit towards the side of the X-Borg. He still has his Faraga armor intact. Well, this boss is going to go in for a setup once again, and that is a secured kill with that bouncing ball to negate him from moving any further. So say goodbye to Papa.
And that is just perfect, right? Deus Vult, they knew that they had to, that the Hellcat is in the bottom side, so they can go for it. But here comes Gado catching up the ultimate. The Will of the Dragon is there. Zika not able to get up from it. Just go invisible, but only for a little while more. Tomiwo will pick up that kill. But meanwhile, Deus Vult, 4 members from 10 Seconds Gaming Plus in the bottom lane. Deus Vult will work on that tier 2.
We're looking at 10 Seconds Gaming Plus slowly losing out that sort of advantage that they do have. And now we're looking at Deus Vult, of course, securing 2 turrets in a row from the top side, and of course losing at the bottom as well. So they can definitely lock their eyes towards getting another objective, which will be the turtle. Ooh. But here comes Dark Fault, and they will come into this Last Insanity. Oh my goodness, Sabo! Triple knock with the turret ridge, and they turn this one around. Devu will be able to snatch this one away, and it's only the Chow left.
F2, what avail? You steal the turtle, you lose 4 members. Sabo was a god in that fight. Just look at this replay. This Kufra waited, comes in, and immediately gets that big, juicy ultimate. They collapse onto 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. Sunset was literally untouched the entire fight. And Deus Vult, they broke the game right open.
Wow, then the Harif got nowhere to run as well. That was a perfectly timed ult as well as the bouncing ball to actually stop them right there in between. And for the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, the only offset they did have was just snatching that turtle away. But it was not all too worth it. The only thing that they got out of it is just a little bit of that sort of buff. And now, at least they're trying to actually stall out for a little bit more. And the Harris still needs a lot of time to actually skill up. Well, he's still level 8, and he's probably in contention with the rest of the team. But looking at Obuyan, he's pretty under level as well. Finally gets to level 7. And we're seeing Zika here doing a little bit of a split. So from the side of DEUS VULT, they are gonna go and commit to this one.
They're gonna try and go for Lil Happy. Lil Happy a bit isolated, but Sunset now being caught out. Able to run away with the ultimate. Tomio not able to get in range, but they'll get the speed up from Rafaela. He needs one final touch, and they'll get the carry. Now Lil Happy is not gonna be happy about this. If he goes down, and he will. Double kill for the Harry. The re-engage that's coming from Sabo. He goes in with a Tyrant Wrap, but not able to get it. And what a kill from Helgen on the loot of the ultimate. Was a bit too late. He gets one touch on the Rafaela, I believe, but Sabo now needs to get out. The bouncing ball will keep him alive for a bit more. He goes in with a re-engage on the Papa, but Papa will survive. Now it's both Helgen and Harry trying to take down his Kufa, but the Tyrant is just way too strong. Tomibo will finally finish him off with that last auto attack. 10 seconds gaming plus. They finally win out the first fight.
What a great juggle of aggression we're looking at the side of Tomibo as well as Papa, just slowly doing a little bit of dance right in between. And Sao had no choice but just to wait it out. But even if he actually jumps away, he will still get caught by the Harry no matter what. So that's 4 kills in the back for Tom already. Endless battle being fought by Totaka. And we're looking at a possible comeback coming from 10 seconds gaming plus.
Yeah, this game is still a 50-50, 10 seconds gaming plus. We know that they have the fundamentals. We know that they can take games off of what is the strongest team that we have in M1. Even though they lost the turtle fight earlier on, you can see how they handle the fight in the top lane. They got the kills that they needed. This is the third turtle though, and DEUS VULT is going for it. We'll see if 10 seconds gaming plus. They steal the turtle again, but can they win the fight though? DEUS VULT, they are going last standing on 3 people, but they lose the Xbox level, and Liu Happy will go down. Helgen, he fights Sunset, carries down, but look at Sabo, bouncing ball in the middle of the entire 10 seconds gaming split, but this time, 10 seconds was all the blue team needed. They'll get QB, they'll get Sabo, the team wipe for Japan, and they will wipe Russia off the map.
Wow, look at them go from the land of the rising sun. They came back right from below, and look at this team fight. They just clammed them over on the corner, and even Sao landed some great stunts and lockdowns right down below. All the other members of DEUS VULT were in a disarray. They were torn apart, and there's just no better way to actually execute it. Once they snatched that turtle, they went haywire. They could not even find a single way, and now we are in a tie. 25k goal for both ends.
Yeah, instant goal swing, and again, second time Zeka tried to take on Papa but ends up getting killed off instead. So this Natalia is going to be ineffective against 10 seconds gaming plus because of those deficits. The sunsets on DEUS VULT's side, but it definitely rolls on 10 seconds gaming pluses in their advantage. And DEUS VULT right now, because losing 2 turtles, the first turtle was okay. They got 4 kills. But the second turtle, they lost that, and they lost the entire team. Sabo is going to get called out again. It's an immediate collapse for 10 seconds gaming plus. They know they have to lead. They're going to push it, but keep your eyes on the Sunset though. He wants retribution. They trade 1 for 1, but it's now Lil Happy. QP is there as well. So Mimo with a great damage, but not enough. Obi are keeping the rest of the team alive, but here comes Utaka. Can he get the kill? He gets the way of the dragon on the QP, but QP is somehow still alive. Obi, and why is he not dead yet? And Totaka will find a kill. Now Lil Happy is to run away from Papa, but Papa is here. 10 seconds gaming plus. They answer back with 3.
Come to Papa, ladies and gentlemen, and look at them. They are now on Fury form. And I'm not sure the side of DEUS VULT don't really need to commit to that fight. And now they might just lose out on this Lord, which is already getting attempted by Papa. And look at the members of Debu. They're just waiting for a little bit of engagement. We are dropping low, and Totaka waiting for a little bit of setup here. And here comes the fight.
Blue monster kill indeed. Sunset will set once more. Sabo not gonna get in. He will have a second life, but instantly taken down by the Harif. And now 10 seconds game is class. 5 members strong on that Lord. Zika, he needs some magic to happen, but Totaka will zone him out. Lord down to 50%. DEUS VULT, they will give this away because the rest of 10 seconds gaming fast is on guard duty. The Lord will be going over to the blue team.
Great objective control. Did you just see how they just maneuvered around? They knew that some of these DEUS VULT members would just camp right over the corner, and they just dove right in without any sort of hesitation. And they definitely baited some of these guys hailing from DV. And look at the items here. The Hauken has already completed the BOD as well as Endless Battle, and Immortality is already in the hands of Totaka, so he can easily just dive in and out of the fight.
Yeah, and we've seen this from DEUS VULT in their series against Evil's Legend. They kept forcing fights that shouldn't have happened and they ended up throwing a lead away. It seems like deja vu for them because 10 seconds gaming, they found another one. Gato Kaja with the taunt to Savo. Savo not able to get out. The Tyrant is down and 10 seconds gone. This is the time to turn out the notch. They go for the aggression. Tomibo a bit isolated from the rest of his team and Zika will punish him. 1-4-1. DEUS VULT, they hold on.
I think that's a little bit of overextension coming in from the Harrod, and there's still the tower intact. They should have waited for a few more seconds, then they could easily break down the mid lane, which they just did. And I'm not too sure, a little bit of that sacrificial offering towards the side of DV. Well, this will definitely stall time for them for the very least. Now, first QP here, slowly scaling upwards as well, and I'm just locking my eyes on Papa on how efficient he actually plays his Helcurt. Every single fight in greatest of position, and they just went in for that dive. And even the Natalia don't really seem to be able to actually go in for full engages. And whenever she goes in to take down one enemy, she will lose her life as well.
Yeah, you have to also give props to Sure on that, Shure on that Gato Kacha. Sure, early on wasn't the best start for this particular tank, but as the game progresses, you can see how much control 10 Seconds Gaming Plus have against DEUS VULT. This Natalia is starting to lose her grasp on her effectiveness because of the lead that 10 Seconds Gaming Plus has. If you look at the goal graph just now, in the beginning it was all red, but the Japan painted it blue straight away.
Well, both flags do have some of all these colors, but except for Japan, they only got the white and red upon them. And there's going to be a little bit of that split coming on. Endless battle for Zika, but Papa's on the hunt as well. And there we go, 1v1 battle as Zika tries to turn the corner. Oh, this is close! Only one single health left, and here comes Obuen to actually finish things off.
Papa and Zika, these two are just murdering each other. 1-for-1 trade. The kill does go over to Owi and the Raffaella from Tennis Gaming Plus. Still okay for DEUS VULT. Now Zika knows that he can kill off Papa and Tennis Gaming Plus. Both teams don't have the assassin who will come on top. Stuart gets away with the ultimate, which means that Tomibo will now dash in with the Zaman's Force. Does get the second life out of Leo Happy, but DEUS VULT, they're looking for the re-engage. Sunset not able to get in range for now. Tomibo has to be super careful, but Sabo goes in, immediately gets the engage, and Tennis is fine. He'll collapse. Totaka goes in, gets away with the dragon. Sunset with the purify will cancel that. Stuart now has to tank the team, but Sunset, keep your eyes on this carry because this carry is going ham. Leo Happy does get taken down as Totaka tries to knock out Sunset with the kick, but not able to kill him off. Sunset will dash away. Sabo with a zero of life. Totaka goes right in, but will lose that immortality. He comes back to life. 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, not able to get too much.
I just love the decision making coming from 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. Though they may seem like some of these members are low, but they know that they can take a fight because of all these immortality up online for the frontliners. And even so, they did use the Guardian to actually escape. And that Gato Kacha was so hard to even take down in that sort of sense. Now, we're looking at DEUS VULT here, slowly losing out that lead, 21-16. And I'm not too sure, can they even contest for this Lord, which will appear in a few seconds.
This is definitely a close one for both teams. DEUS VULT, they have botched a couple of fights, but you can see that those cores are coming online. Sunset, 1 and 3, pretty fine. He was able to push back the Chos. He has the Purify just now, but he won't have it for this fight. If 10 Seconds Gaming Plus start on the law straight away, you can see Gato Kacha is very Shure looking for any members of DEUS VULT who wants to go for the engage. And Suez good dash, and he gets a 3-man taunt and the immediate collapse from 10 Seconds Plus. The auto blitz comes up for QB, but QB needs to retreat because Papa is there. Misses that the burst, but it's okay. They found the Luna. Papa is going to go for more. There's the silent. Sunset might be assassinated, but Sunset managing to hold on. And Zika goes right into Natalia as well. Totaka a bit far in where the dragon finishes off the carry, but he gives us his life for that. 4 for 10 Gaming Plus, 2 for DEUS VULT. Japan come out on top.
Well, Japan still have that absolute control after wiping off all 4 members. Let's have a look again and break this one down. We saw Totaka here annihilating Lil Happy and rendering him useless with so many of that control stacked upon him. And down to that Papa 1v1 against the Lunox. Of course, Sunset have a little bit more advantage over there with Totaka diving straight in towards that tier 3 and eventually get taken out as well. But for the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, it's worth the risk to take, and now they open things up with the Lord.
Props to Zika keeping Sunset alive for a bit longer. 10 Gaming Plus were looking for the full commitment on the dive, but Zika, he dropped the smoke and slowed down the rest of 10 Gaming Plus. So suddenly Totaka was isolated. Sure, he got the kill on the Sunset, but he gave up his life for that. 10 Gaming Plus, the bright side was that they got to secure the Lord, but for DEUS VULT, they can definitely hold on to this.
Wow, this is just game one that we're watching here between both of these sides, and Zawo trying to actually get close to the Lord and immediately get spotted out by Sure as well as Bobuya, slowly leading it in. And here we go.
Zawo,
there's going to be a fight.
it's ready.
Papa getting picked up.
Papa managing to get away, but the rest of DEUS VULT will go for the collapse. They're going to deal with the Lord, and the rest of 10 seconds giving plus. The last Teddy comes out. Sure still in the front line. Sure staying alive. Maybe not Zawo, no killing spree for the Harif. And here comes Osaka. He found the talent. The talent moves down. Challenge giving plus. Immediate collapse. Kato Kacha. They're going to wipe the floor with DEUS VULT. Japan, they are doing it. And Russia will be falling in game one. Last stand. It will be the last dish from DEUS VULT. They managed to hold on for now, but it's going to be QP against the rest of Tennis Gaming Plus, and Japan will take game one.
They stacked them up like Jenga, and my goodness me, look at how they actually initiated with a perfect weight of the dragon to just kick them up in the air, and eventually all the outs all connect in towards the mid lane with that Lord still marching up towards the top. 10 seconds, Gaming Plus, they are absolutely monsters here coming into this series, and now DEUS VULT, of course, having that absolutely perfect early game, but in the mid game, we saw on those turtle attempts, they slowly lost out that objective, get it taken away by 10 seconds Gaming Plus, and that's just the start of it. When they hit in towards that second turtle over on the lower side of the river, that's where all hell broke loose. And now let's have a look at the stats here. MVP will be Koopy, 5, 5, and 7. You can see they were struggling initially for the side of the Evu, but heading in towards the side of 10 seconds Game Plus, it was all about Tamibo on how he actually positioned himself to rake in that